Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Offsbloke Aidan.
I'm Gaynor.
Today we have another Theo Von video, love that guy.
Yeah.
And also Jocko Willink.
Willink, is it?
Funniest moments compilation. I don't know who Jocko Willink is though, to be honest with
A
you.
few people have said to react to him. I'd never heard of him, so I looked who he was. And I think he might be an ex-Navy SEAL, but he's got like a podcast about his life and
I see.
what he's been up to. So
Yeah, well, let's see how funny these funniest moments are with Theo Von and Jocko Willink.
My wife's the same way. My wife's not relying on, my wife will handle stuff.
Right.
Whatever it is, she can handle it.
Yeah, you got to get a capable. I mean, people. That's one thing. If you pick an incapable wife, dude, that's going to be sheer hell.
And the most part of that capable is emotionally capable. Because when you end up with a spouse, whether it's the man or the woman, that relies on you to make them feel good emotionally, that's the one that will pick you apart. So you got to be careful. That one's a good one to look out for. So in the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is you got to have balance. You got to build a strong structure. And the point I was going to say with this guy is Jace, while you're investing in your family, you're building them. You're making your family stronger so that they can stand on their own, so that in the long run, you have more freedom in your life because you won't have this family unit that's totally relying on you for every little thing.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, makes them better off in the world. When they grow up, they go out and they dominate the world because they're capable.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, I don't think anybody taught me shit growing up, dude. I don't know if I know
What about,
more.
didn't you learn a lot of stuff from Daniel?
Incapable. Oh, dude, Daniel was a fucking bad influence, dude. He was drinking hot hose water, bro. First sip.
Oh, no, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I heard you talking on a podcast about how, like, your first girl is sort of like the hot hose water. And I was thinking, well, that doesn't really make any sense. And then I realized it does, because here's what happens with the hot hose water. When you first start drinking it,
Yeah.
it's all hot and uncomfortable. But then all of a sudden you get to the cold part and you're like, oh, yeah. So it's the same thing with your first girl. You're kind of like awkward. It's all like doesn't taste good. And all of a sudden you get kind of through that to the coldness. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is good. So, yeah, you do remember that first hose pipe
Yeah.
hitter.
Dude, one of my first girlfriends had real short hair, dude, and she looked like a young man,
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really wanted to be her boyfriend, but I don't know if I had a choice.
Yeah, you just
Oh, dude,
A pawn.
Oh, bro. She used to, when the school bus would come, it would bring my brother and his friends from the bigger school, and they'd pick us up after. She would pick me up and start making out with me. Bro, it was so fucking embarrassing. And sometimes I would wrap my legs around her. I didn't know what else to do, bro. And they would fucking call us all kind of names and shit.
How old was she
I don't
compared
know,
to you?
man.
Like
I don't know.
27?
Yeah, I don't even know if she went to our school. It could have been a woman. But God, man, that was fucking, everybody has their Vietnam, That shit was insane, man.
The idea that we can't compete with each other, I think has something to do with it. To say, hey, we don't want to compete with each other. Like, no, actually, you are going to compete with people. And if you don't think you're going to compete, man, you're going to have a hard life, because
Yeah.
life is about competition. And again, does this mean I'm competing with everyone? Does it mean I'm like, hey, I'm going to get more downloads than Theo, right? I don't really care, man. I hope you get more downloads than me, but I'm competing with you. I'm competing with myself. I want to do a better job. That's what we're doing, right?
And it brings everybody up.
Exactly. Whereas if you get told all the time, hey, you don't know, being strong is
Yeah.
bad. Hey, standing up for yourself is bad. Hey, if you have an opinion, it's better if you just accept everyone's opinion. It's like, no, actually, you can have your own opinion. That's okay.
Yeah.
And so I think a combination of those things I think that ends up putting in a certain generation has put guys in a situation where they look up and they say, there's something in them that wants to be a warrior, right? That wants to compete, that wants to fight, that wants to win, but they've never been able to nurture that ththing.
Right.
It's never been given any water.
Right. And it's not even been allowed to even kind of peek its head around it.
Exactly. Because a mom or dad saying, no, it's okay. Everyone's a winner. It's like, no, actually, you feel it, right? You lose the game and you're like, man, I'm a loser. And someone says, no, it's okay. You're still a winner. You don't feel that way.
Fuck that. Sherman's a fucking loser, bro. That's what I remember. This one dude, and then this dude, one time they had this kid in our school named Sherman, right? And he was a fucking loser, bro. And he wasn't probably really, well, everybody thought he was a loser. He lost everything, dude. And then one day, the last day of school, I think in 4th grade, he somehow got some boom boxes and put them in the cafeteria, right? And turned them all on to Michael Jackson, right? This was the most ginger kid. He was so transparent. You could see him being alive. You could see all of his organs, right? I mean, just completely pale. And he fucking did the entire Michael Jackson dance on the tables and just blew the entire universe open.
Right.
And after that, I don't even know what happened. I think he might have went directly to the moon. Like he was just a straight champion after that.
You know, my parents, it wasn't them being bad parents.
Right. It was just what was going on.
But it was just what was going on. The dang, what were they called? Funny bones. Have you ever had a funny bone before? It was like chocolate cup. It was like
Look it up, Nick.
It was kind of like a Twinkie
Please.
situation, but it was chocolate. It had chocolate draped over it, but then the inside was a creamy peanut butter filling.
Ooh.
So
Ooh, you'd
you
like
know,
that.
you could, and it wasn't no
God,
thing.
it sounds like the way I'd like to be buried, actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal. At least throwing a couple in there in the coffin. Dude, funny bones right there. Drake's, I couldn't remember that. So, yeah, my mom would buy, you know, like they got the 10-pack right there. Yeah.
Never seen them before. Have you?
I have seen them. I've never tried them, but I think they're like a bit like chocolate Twinkies. I think.
Frosted peanut. That could be quite nice. That.
Yeah.
My mom would buy like 3 of those and just be, hey, what are you gonna have for breakfast? A funny bone, maybe 3. So I think even though there's some things that make it easier to be less healthy nowadays,
right.
I think at least we're aware of it and we're not mainlining Coca-Cola in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there is. I remember, and as kids, we would make that sound after.
So when you say like drinking, I don't think I could drink Coca-Cola in the morning anyway. I can't have a fizzy drink in the morning. It just tastes a bit weird.
I like it when it's been poured into a glass over ice, so it's not as fizzy.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning.
First thing.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't drink anything other than like
Milk.
juice or water. I reckon.
I like water and I like juice, but I do like flat Coke in the morning.
Interesting.
After we drank it, it was like that was like a big thing. But yeah, getting a Coke was, and your parents had Diet Coke, and you thought that was crazy. Like, what fucking creepy senior is sipping that shit? But yeah, so yeah, it's like
I'm pretty sure I remember. I think I remember a world before Diet Coke. There was something called Tab.
Oh yeah,
you remember
I've seen
Tab?
that. It was really had a very strange
That-
font
I
on the
think
can.
that was the first kind of diet soda.
Oh really?
Yeah, that I can remember. Because
Yeah, Tab.
Coke was just...
Never even heard of Tab.
I think if you've seen the can, you might remember it. I remember having it.
Let's see if they
Coke.
show it.
There wasn't even anything else. It was just
Yeah.
like, it wasn't Coke Light and Coke everything else. It was just Coke.
Yeah.
With 97 grams of
fucking
corn
good,
syrup
brother.
per shot.
Yeah. Coke, yeah, and they're supposed to refresh you. That's insane when you think about that.
Yeah, but that's how it was.
But yeah, I guess I wonder if there was any positives to it. I mean, sugar's such a killer. Sugar's how much sugar's in this?
0.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so what tastes good, what's making your sweetness
Yeah, 'cause I feel a little bit heated
receptors
up.
go
Yeah.
is that there's something called monk fruit in it, which is
Religious, no?
it's something not very religious. It's something like 87,000 times more sweet than sugar. Or
Wow.
something. I don't know what the numbers, but it's
Right.
something like that. So it's super sweet.
3 times softer than cotton, you mean?
Yeah. But it's a fruit, and so we just put a little bit of that in there, and it makes it taste sweet, and it tastes natural. So yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty smooth. That. So they're all go. Is Jocko go?
Yeah.
And do your kids have to drink it or not?
Yeah, there's too much caffeine in it for a kid. There's 95 milligrams of caffeine
Oh
in it.
fuck, man.
Yeah. So
Well,
are you
what's
gonna
in
go?
Red
Are you gonna go
Bull?
crazy now?
Red Bull's like 60, 70, right?
Oh, is it? So it's got a lot of caffeine then.
Yeah, a lot.
It's a good drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that, their prime
Yeah.
bottles, they've got like 140 or something like that.
Really?
Caffeine milligrams.
And all the kids were drinking it because it's
What?
Ciao.
I don't want to join
Not in
the
the bottle, I think the can though.
the can.
Yeah. But they're like fizzy.
Right.
ROTC or something this afternoon.
No, it's like the same as a cup of coffee.
Okay.
So
Would you guys? Did you do ROTC when you were
no,
younger?
No.
Because I remember there was this group at our school. It was like ROTC, and there was
for sure.
Nobody told us first of all what it was, right? Which was a huge alarm. Because suddenly after school there would be these kids running around the school
Yeah.
with wooden guns, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah, for me, I wasn't into that part of the military. I wasn't into thinking, hey, let's march around.
Yeah.
I was into the commando stuff. So what I actually got in trouble on the soccer team because I was leading runs and I was singing cadences. And I remember getting in trouble for, singing the cadence of Ho Chi Minh is a son of a bitch, which
Like,
I was into that kind of thing.
Were y'all playing Ho Chi Minh?
No, we weren't playing Ho Chi Minh.
You're like, oh, it's a goal. It's a goal, not a foxhole. You're like, everybody out of the goal.
Yeah. So but we didn't even have ROTC in my school. I grew up in a really small town in New England. I think there was 85 people in my graduating class or something like that. Yeah, it's really small.
So was it more the leadership then I'm trying to figure out, like, kind of pinpoint what it was. And was it?
Bro, do you remember when you were a little kid, like, pretending that a stick was a gun?
Oh yeah, G.I. Joe, all of that.
That's it, man. That's it. And that was just a real strong feeling for me. Every kid, that's all we did.
Yeah, most of the kids stopped doing that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. And when people would look and say, oh,
You're fucking elbow crawling across the graduation stage.
People see somebody walking around with a briefcase when you're a little kid and be like, wow, that person, like, they're getting in a Cadillac, like, whoa, that person's something, like, powerful, a banker or something.
Right.
And I'd never had that thought. I only thought, whoa, that guy's got a machine gun, or that guy's getting into a tank.
Yeah.
And that just was what I always wanted to do.
Wow. That's
cool,
man.
As you said, I just never stopped.
Yeah. I think there's also a thing, so I think it's that everybody's the same. There's this thing that it's not okay to be different or to, like, open up your mouth if you have a different perspective, because then at least you learn to be wrong. You learn to be right. You learn to, like, oh, well, maybe I am this way, or maybe I'm more this way, I think also there's a lot of things where a lot of parents aren't allowed to discipline their kids. And so a lot of kids don't feel, young people feel more like, our parents feel, I think, more like they're not allowed to kind of discipline, Like, when I was growing up, you got spanked. I remember my buddy's mom would beat my ass all the time. I'm like, I don't even fucking know this lady, But she would whoop my ass. And I'm so grateful that she did. It was I still can feel sometimes that hand hitting my, my thighs, But I think there's definitely a discipline thing that goes on out there.
All right, I want to know from Jocko, and Theo, I love you, boy. You're my boy, Theo, but I want to know how quick he thinks he'd be able to tap you out. Just because I think it'd be kind of interesting. I think some other people would want to know too, but you're still my boy, Theo. I fucking love you, bro. But how quick do you think, how quick does Jocko think he'd be able to tap you out? And then also, do you think you'd be able to tap him out? Like if you did like bath salts or something? Because I know that shit has people feeling loopy, bro. That's my question.
Dang, man. That's a good question, dude.
Have you ever trained jiu-jitsu before?
I mean, I've trained, like, I've had, I've chased, like, a small animal around the house,
Have you ever trained jiu-jitsu?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. It wouldn't take very long.
Okay.
It wouldn't take very long.
What do you think, 2 or 3 minutes?
And this is the thing, man, I always try to explain to people, it's not because I'm a
Ignoring that question.
at all. Right. It's because I trained for a really long time. So what, like, sport are you really good at?
Probably outdoor activities, probably.
That's not a sport, bro.
Sorry. Let me think about something. Probably basketball.
Okay, so let's say I never played basketball ever in my life.
Right.
And you and I played one-on-one.
Yeah.
Do you think I'd even score one single basket?
I bet you'd score 1 based on some of your abilities.
Okay, so one single basket and you beat me 11-1,
Yeah.
right? So in jiu-jitsu, it's the same thing. I know the game. You don't know the game at all. And so it would be really easy. It'd be really easy, not just for me, but anyone that trained jiu-jitsu.
What do you think, 3-4 minutes probably?
To tap you out?
Yeah.
No.
What if I was wearing like a real slippery suit or something?
That might gain you a little bit of time, but we're talking sub 1 minute.
Oh, no way.
Unless you're, yeah.
What if it's windy out?
You've trained before.
I'm good in the wind.
You've trained before, though, right? You've trained
No.
jiu-jitsu. Okay, then
I
yeah, then that's where that little hesitation, because that's what's amazing about it. Same thing when I first trained. I just graduated from SEAL training.
Jesus.
And I thought I was the man.
Yeah.
And I was 19 years old. I was, you just got done. It's the most elite training in the world and all this stuff.
At 19?
Yeah. And so this old Master Chief, like the oldest guy, I'd ever seen.
Jesus.
He was probably like 40. Right?
Yeah.
So
remember how old was when you were young?
Yeah, I was looking at him like, Grandpa, you got
like,
nothing for me.
Who's this old fucker with a driver's license?
So he goes, you know, who wants to learn how to fight? And I'm like, hey, me.
Yeah.
So he brings us out, brings us on the mat, and just lined up, there's like 5 of us new guys. And he tapped us all out.
Damn.
With less than a minute each. And that's what it is. That's what jiu-jitsu is. That's why people talk about it a lot. Because when it first happens to you, you can't even believe it. So and immediately when you get tapped out for the first time when you're 19 years old and you're like,
yeah,
I can take anybody.
Oh,
no, that's wrong because I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You're just pouring shots of your own urine.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
We didn't even
Theo,
give a fuck.
just getting after that urine.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. I'd have half a quart, bro. Who gives a shit? Bro, at 19-year-old piss is fucking, you know how much testosterone's in that shit, bro?
Actually, I do. Zero.
Yeah.
Bro. Zero. So
I don't know,
missed
bro.
out, man. You missed out.
You got to get to the bottom. There's something
Theoretically,
down there.
I like where you're at, but you're not really there scientifically. So, yeah, that's what happens. You just don't know. And jiu-jitsu is a really powerful,
He's a
powerful
bit serious
thing.
at the minute.
And you should go train sometime. You know,
I really want to go train, and I need to go train. I've been trying. What I've been focusing on this year.
You've been saying that for a while.
I know. Well, one of my fears is that I'm not flexible enough.
That has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with you not training. I have people that come to my gym that start jiu-jitsu when they're 52 years old.
Wow.
Or 43 years old or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can get in there and you can train. Be careful. You know, you don't want to train with like some 19-year-old kid that's been training for like 6 months.
Right.
That's all crazy.
Right. That has nothing to lose.
Don't go with him, because he's gonna take your arm and put it on his wall at home and be like, that's Theo Von Jocko. You see that one arm?
He's like, oh,
fool?
I got that
Yeah,
hitter.
I got his other arm. So watch out for that guy. But other than that, if you find some people that are gonna relax, it'll be cool. And yeah, you should definitely start training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
The thing you should do is stretch. I mean, I hope you're
Yeah.
doing like some kind of stretching protocol. That's a no.
That's a no, yeah. That's a no that started with a Y, though.
Yeah.
It's a you know.
It's
but still, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I do know.
But that's why
I
I've been
do know.
trying
You know
to
why?
get
Because stretching is so unsatisfying.
Yeah.
I find it so unsatisfying. If there's the
Achilles heel.
the Achilles heel for me, or just the thing that I really don't like doing, even though I know it's beneficial, is I don't like stretching a lot.
Yeah.
So because you just don't.
I wouldn't even say I stretch at all, to be honest.
I love stretching.
Do you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I do it, to be honest. No.
I need to do it more though, because my arms, like my legs are fine, it's my arms that need doing.
That Jocko Willink though, I feel like he's quite a good person to listen to on a podcast
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
quite
got-
interesting,
he's
good
got a lot
good
of,
things to say.
Yeah, he's got a lot of podcasts, and I was going to watch one, but it's quite long. It's like an hour, 2 hours long. So.
All podcasts are there.
Well, I didn't know that.
Did you know?
I don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video as well. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Bye.